control, that is disconnected from spirit and...
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We gotta protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. Spola, worshiping pedophiles. Wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released represent with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem, bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive.
I do it die for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide down. Blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet. So my aircraft still spit. Can't be tied down or even seat belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked that caused my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. It bust off on some ices and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real, monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, she's a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit to a fly zone. Haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the silver hand, but we're healer man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow our set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more to scamper. Need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as your goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated while I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm data space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the case, face off. At did shape the state, use a fate, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset, perfect conscious practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing the step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up, flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics, and it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A crystal paralyzed what your fans get. Your world's in perils what I transmit as a transcript, or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew, and everybody wants to get his own crew rich, and then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. I don't want to go for the pastor. I go for you niggas that think that y'all big dude. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen.
Yeah. We need some 3 parts on this, man. Yes, sir. I can't carry my boys at chorus. Come on, line up. Yo, I need y'all 3-part harmony on this. I don't know how you gonna work it out, but work it out. I hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose his soul?
To the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of the mouth is a sword, and I'm taking you out. You trying to stop me, and I'm taking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis, and I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I use drink the brew. Heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week. Intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So do the knowledge, that means hold your head, let the past stay dead, and keep a level head, and don't be misled. Remember most of what I said, I'm hot like times in a rock, but you gotta stop from working on your song.
By the end of the night, how deep this music is. Proud of the man to gain the world and lose his soul. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose his soul?
Mark Sandin was getting candid. Understand this is the way that the masses
Getting watermelon seeds.
Wisdom, but God planned it. General media
Gotta rinse them off.
flows on beaches and make you wonder where the sand went. The Taliban spent more time in design to destroy cities. My rhymes inspire minds. I'm known as Big Papa, but I ain't your daddy yet. But I could be your bro if you could get the concept. There'd be many that stand whenever I rip, but it's devastation whenever I spit. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits, straight legit. You fake rappers need to understand that felonies, gunfights and drugs don't make a true MC. And I will do more than talk this talk. I will defiantly walk this walk. There's no need to spaz. Your nose bleeding while I'm beating your ass. You in the cesspool.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how
Deep this music is.
what is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose his soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music
All right,
is.
I just got juiced up.
What is it proud?
Ancient Chinese secret now.
Yes. Did you not pay attention in your history class? Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up. Yes, sir. Partner, wake up, son. It is written that there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. And that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So take your position. Don't you know you are part of that scripture, yo? Yo, you've been getting in the way and let you knock you down. Yes, but we gon' bring the light, yeah. A Max P production, baby. You know what it is. Listen.
What time?
I'm known to tell you to fight back.
We're going
There's no
outside.
need to
Come
sell
on, bro.
crack just to live fat. Why don't black superstars simply give back when they know it's a struggle just to live black? Can you picture that, Mr. Aristocrat? I'm coming from the bottom, rising to the top, and conscious is the tone on the CDs I drop. I won't flip flop like a black bass, but I will put a message in the song before I hook your ass. See, we first class living, worse than slaves of the earlier days when we adapted the ways of the slave master. I stand upon it, the fairy rock which put your people in bondage just to get 100. The big face kind, and it don't matter if it's making people lose their freaking mind. That's why I'm speaking mine, hopefully to change yours, to pull you out of these streets from these drugs and strange whores. It's easy like it's the world out there.
A lot of evil out there. Compassion, okay.
It's like we died inside, no longer having pride. We're still for rides, a new skill to hide. And like the red tide, go and get our heads dyed.
Hey, Delusion, what's up, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? Anybody else coming up? Nobody else came in and spoke?
Right. Fail to coexist, let alone coincide. Eat chicken many ways, but prefer it fried. Like your man on death row when his relatives cried. It's death a mistake because somebody lied. And we can only pray that Christ is by his side. Convicted on the statement implied with no proof. Now will the warden cry that he killed another youth? I truly doubt it. That's why we stay in the booth. Just cause it ain't enough. We should demand and show proof. And if they overlook our voices, then we raise the roof. Which one of y'all do?
This is a copy of my real one. My real one I'm gonna wear. It's kind of tan like. But this, you know, it's kind of the Hollywood narrative. When people look at this, they don't see what we were able to create. This is based on a time that would actually be the future compared to how people are living right now. What's cracking, y'all? We're gonna go ahead and read this, but I'm gonna just throw some stuff out there real quick. So, Camille has some pretty good lives. Some good reads, man. Y'all need to check it out. Waiting on original loan. We'll come and throw something in. I guess it's Sunday, right? So, I guess people did what they shouldn't have done. Now, y'all know I had me a shot of Jameson. I think it's in the kitchen. He gave me, it was like a double shot. I took like a couple sips, bro. I had some weed, but I was tired. It was sunny. It was hot. Got some eyes full of sand because of the wind. Got the welding pretty much. We actually welded a lot more. Y'all saw when I returned, I was hit. I sat down. I ate that steak that I hooked up with the marinara wine sauce. I dropped half of it on my carpet. I got to go up there with a big, not to meet the sauce, y'all. I was sitting there on the chair like this. Friggin' Frank, man. I was sore. My knee was killing me. I actually broke out the TENS unit, didn't even use it, man. You know, the TENS electrostimuli. So I was going to put I got like several, 8 of them. Anyway, I was going to hook them up to both knees, my back, blah, blah, and run them for like about 30, 45 minutes. I was really beat down. Like, you know, when you have high pain tolerance, it doesn't mean you don't feel pain. You deal with it. I cannot sit here and acquiesce what your pains may be, but I can allude to this fact that mine are greater than you can imagine. Yet it's a different walk. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say anything too crazy or ridiculous, but being able to tolerate the pain does not mean that you tolerate. And I still push through because I just know I have to. You know what I mean? So this watermelon is magnificent. I'm saving the seeds. It'll take about 3 more times of germinating, growing to get all the pushed out, and especially if you're using aloe and eggshells and banana peels and stuff like that. When you compost, when you till the soil, it can bring the watermelon back to exactly what it was. The seeds being much bigger and it being a little more compact and strong. So that's the reason why I'm saving all the watermelon seeds whenever I eat watermelons. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get in the read. I appreciate everybody. The little video out there with the music, that's not monetized. I put it up there, I just wanted to let y'all know you can have a good time. It's not about Everything is about violence. You know, if that's the process of your thinking. I mean, we just had 2 bodybuilders die in their 30s, female and a guy. More people are starting to realize there's a lot of things going on that's beyond propaganda. There is a report out. I'm not saying it's factual. I would advise you to look into it, where they're looking at anywhere between 60 to 80% of American population. Some of you don't know this, but they've been building stuff because they know exactly where it's going. I just give you an example. I just checked my EMF, right? It was high, but the internet's acting up. And when I conveyed these things to people who I grew up with, they were like, oh, he's crazy. When I said the weapon was tested on us, because that's what it is. Naval Air Station Cecil Field, that's no longer there. It hasn't been there since the 80s or 90s. I don't know, since the 90s. I don't know when they closed it down. But it was a weapon then. And then when you convey this to people who, because it wasn't used on them, or it's being used on you now, and it's a slow microwave. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I proved it to my neighbor. Their internet's different, which I can log on in theirs too. And I says, I want you to see something. So I went over there and I showed the EMF, and they were like, holy smack. And he's like, well, right now we can't even game, because games and all that. I can't even game because the internet's acting up. Well, by this, it's supposed to be perfectly fine. And he says, oh. And you know, he's a real paranoid, you know, Eric Snowden type, you know. And he was like, okay. And I was like, I'm not here to say believe me. I'm just saying research it, you know. I need more of that sun, y'all. That's all I can say. Without all the sweating and getting my hands, and I even cracked my nail. You can see where the weld. I took a shower, weld and all that went up under the grease from the bottom of the vehicle. Man, it's hard to get out, especially when the nails cracked that. So I got to trim that all off. But I had a good time welding, y'all. Sometimes I forget how well I bead. You know what I'm saying? You could tap weld if you want. But when you learn how to go one direction or come back the other, when you know, and you get that bead just right, when you make that connection and you get that, man, listen here, ain't nothing like it, y'all. And then you take your what's called off finisher, you break off the carbon and you shine it up a little bit, make sure it looks pretty good, you know. Ain't nothing like it, you know. But yeah, everybody was partying yesterday, man, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, look, y'all, thanks, appreciate you want to take John Jameson. I don't give a damn. One thing I'm about to say about whiskey and vodka, it doesn't convert to sugar like beer. Like if I drink beer, dude, I'm wanting to give myself the, you know, I want to break this out. I got like 2 or 3 of them. I want to break this out and stick myself, not diabetic, but just to see. Remember I was talking about went up over 300, like, but I'm not diabetic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cause it's unnatural to the body. You know what I'm saying? So I've even backed off of the honey, y'all. So, cause like I was saying yesterday, you know, you have glucose, fructose, and what's the other one? I think fructose is the natural, right? As far as in fruits and stuff like that, if I remember, I can't remember everything all the time. But anyway, that's different. But it's also how you eat it, because most people aren't taking it with fiber. It's like whenever I make a smoothie, and the guys will tell you, it's not about it being liquidy. I want to have pulp, fiber in the smoothie. I want it to be thick. Why? Because you got to process the stuff. Otherwise, it's going right into your bloodline. I mean, it's not what you want, and it's messing with the floral in your stomach, and it's not beneficial. And then that's why whenever you hear them talking about certain things to partake in and not partake in, the difference with us is it doesn't apply. A lot of stuff they speak on doesn't apply to us. We need chlorophyll. We need these certain things. And if you're going to eat meat, eat it medium well. I mean, I know it's some bad stuff. If you can't get it from a live butcher or whatever, there's nothing I can do about that. But you have to have a balance. And I would tell you, if you're eating 3 meals a day, there's a reason why you're sick. 77 and before, everybody was slim. 77 and up, everybody got gordito. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's here. And if we were all together, I'm tired of saying that because y'all don't get it. If we were together, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. What destroyed our people? Cornel West, Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson. There's a whole plethora of them. We were never meant to be part of this hijacked government. We had our own, in case you didn't know that. All right. So anyway, let me go ahead and read. All right. Because I'm going out in that sun. Me and him going to sit out there and bask on over here by the wall where the sun is really beaming down, no trees blocking, and just soak up some sun. That way I can be with my shirt off and worry about no kids and all that. I'm back behind the wall, some flies and stuff like skeeters. But I was thinking about taking them down to Wild Week and just crash out there in the back of the truck, set up my little fold-out bench, sit up in the back with my little watermelon, my cooler, you know, and just, you know, in the back of the truck while everybody's way down at the beach, just sit up there, you know, my little place where I like to, you know what I'm saying, and just let the sun do its thing while the sky is kind of clear, if y'all notice, blue, mind you. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the read in so I can go ahead and do this because I really want to be outside a whole lot I can before I'm up out of here. And then when I'm down there, it's going to be about getting the showers together, getting water storage, and all kind of stuff. A lot of work, y'all. It's got to happen. You don't have to be passed down. You don't have to be a certain crayon color. You know, everybody is capable of doing some great things. So let's get into Facts of Facts by Benjamin H. Friedman. So I hope you remember, because I'm not going to walk it back for you. I'm just going to start where I am. But remember who he is conversing with, because he finds it important to send this message to Mr. LLD, whatever, Mr. Goldstein, Dr. Goldstein. So he's talking to him, and we're about to get through all that, okay? Still. In the Latin Saint Jerome 4th century Vulgate edition of the New Testament, Jesus is referred to by the genitive plural of Ludius. Ludius. In the Gospel of John, reference to the inscription on the cross, Ludorium. It was in the 4th century that Saint Jerome translated into Latin the manuscripts of the New Testament from the original languages in which they were written. This translation by Saint Jerome is referred to still today as the Vulgate edition by the Roman Catholic Church authorities, who use it today. Jesus is referred as a so-called Jew, and for the first time in the New Testament in the 18th century, Jesus is first referred to as a so-called Jew. In the revised 18th century editions in the English language of the 14th century, first translations of the New Testament into English, that is, the history of the origin of the word Jew in the English language leaves no doubt that the 18th century Jew is the 18th century contracted and corrupted English word for the 4th century Latin Ludeus. Found in St. Jerome's Vulgate edition of that there is no longer a doubt. Now, the available manuscripts from the 4th century, it's funny when we talk about when you jump up to the 14th century, you can see the adage, right? The added on. Anyway, the available manuscripts from the 4th century to the 18th century accurately traces the origin and gives the complete history of the word Jew in the English language. In these manuscripts are to be found all the many earlier English equivalents extending through the 14th centuries from the 4th to the 18th century, and from the Latin Ludius to the English Jew. These English forms included successfully Gio, Lu, many different ways to be explained for those who want to look into it, whether it's L-E-U-U, L-E-U-Y. All right. If you want to go G-Y-U or G-I-U, and it just goes on and on and on. Even down to Lu, or else in L-U-E, L-U-E-E, L-E-W-E. It's just, look, I've been here before and read that stuff, and I was like, what in the world? Creating a new language. And then finally in the 18th century, Jew. Lu. From Gil, Go. I'm serious. And then all of a sudden, in the 18th century, you have your old brand new Jew. The many earlier English equivalents for Jew through the 14th centuries are Giwis, Jew, with a G-I-W-S. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't want to. Okay? And it goes all the way to G-I-W-E-S, G-I-U-S. That's just crazy, y'all. The phonetics. Even L-U-Y-S and L-E-W-S, y'all. Okay? Even Lowe's, as in like the Lowe's hardware store. I mean, it's crazy. Even Lewis, L-O-U-I-S. I'm serious, y'all. You look into it. But anyway, let me go back to reading. And then also finally, the 18th century Jew. With a rapidly expanding use in England in the 18th century for the first time in history of the greatly improved printing press, unlimited quantities of the New Testament were printed. These revised 18th century editions of the earlier 14th century first translations into the English language were then widely distributed throughout England and the English-speaking world among families who had never possessed a copy of the New Testament in any language. In these, listen, 18th century, y'all. In these 18th century editions with revisions, the word Jews appeared for the first time in any English translations. The word Jew, as it was used in the 18th century editions, has since continued in use in all elections of the New Testament in the English language. The use of the word Jew thus was stabilized. And you already know prior, when we read in the past, that's made up identity. They're not us. And y'all always talking about the yarmulke. Wait, first of all, that's Roman. That's why the Vatican, the Pope, and all those things wear those things. That has nothing to do with the Judeans. And that's why when I see brothers wearing it, I'm like, what are y'all doing? Just all that studying. Oh, we're the original. And then they start wearing what they wear. The little strings hanging. Don't even know what they mean. It's not where our ancestors wore nothing. That is set upon them because it is a lie. And I mean that. And don't sit here talking about I read on that's what. Shut up. Okay, anyway. As you know, my dear Dr. Goldstein, the best known 18th century editions of the New Testament in English are the Reims Douai edition of the King James Authorized Edition. The Reims are the D-O-U-A-I, figure that word out, Douai. Translation of the New Testament into English was first printed in 1582, so they say. What did I tell you about King James? Came here for 5 to 6 years because he knows that all the kings and queens were being murdered by these bastards. Wrote down our history. Why is everything popping up in the 18th century? Even though they cordially taught, wrote in, right? Think of something to think about. All right. Anyway, English was the first print. Translation of the New Testament into English was the first printed in 1582, but the word Jew did not appear in it. The King James Authorized Translation of the New Testament into English was begun in 1604. He had nothing to do with the New Testament. I'm just letting y'all know, man. And first published in 1611, the word Jew did not appear in it either. Didn't have it in our Bible. One passed down through many generations. And it still had the Algonquin language in it. I hope my aunt has it. The word Jew appeared in both these well-known editions in their 18th century revised versions for the first time. You know, I talked about that Jew in New York who has a 1775 Bible. Garbage. That's all I got to say to that. I even left a message that says you got garbage. No, he did. He read one part in there. I did a duet with. I believe I still have it. I may put it up on here. Okay. But anyway, countless copies of the revised 18th century editions of the Reims Douai and the King James translations of the New Testament into English was distributed to the clergy and the laity throughout the English-speaking world. They did not know the history English-speaking world. They did not know the history of the origin of the English word Jew, nor did they care. They accepted the English word Jew as the only and as the accepted form of the Latin ludius and the Greek ludoius. Okay? How could they be expected to have known otherwise? The answer is they could not, and they did not. It was a new English word to them. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, people. Well, obviously, some people's did, right? Somebody did make it up. So, but when you start reading those little dabs of the years, the time frame, knowing another history, this is how you bind things in. Now you remember, he's one of those who set up this guy right here. Yeah, through England or the fake crown and everything, the Belfort Agreement, Zionism, the first narrative of destroying and killing off the gypsies and the Palestinians as the new identity. Many, you don't see it, but there's a plethora of ex-IDF soldiers. Some have committed suicide who are, they can't believe how they've been grafted in and do the sick, deviant things they do. But they're not backed by America. They're backed by the U.S. corporation. And because of many Negroes' ignorance and pale skins and the liberal consort of things, as if there's a battle or a challenge, because they want to, satisfy their fleshly, worldly desires instead of stepping up to the mound and recognizing truth. They are so inundated and diluted. Frequency is gone and perverted. And y'all see it. How many of y'all ever been to California and walk along the beach and see how people move? Now, them people look like they chumps, but they cut your throat. They say, hey, listen, let me tell you something. They're like the Wally, what you call it, Wally Beaver, you know what I mean? Of the, you know what I mean? But those smiles are also because they're deviant. There's a lot of deviance. And there's a lot of things in the air or whatever on that island they call Cali. Well, I call it Carolinas. Same thing on the East Coast. It's everything's so well perverse, so well hidden, yet in plain sight. No, I'm not here to beat up. I'm just saying, do anybody really look at things in its different contextual form instead of how it's just displayed? It's like you have this Charles Schwab and all these people, NIH, right? You know they're the ones behind the Tuskegee Airmen. And you also know what tribe. Those are not just Seminoles. Those are autochthonous indigenous people, y'all. Y'all didn't know that. Y'all need to research that. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, after I've been saying what I've been saying, now his little pale skin goes up and jumps up on TikTok. Yeah, and I've had 2 accounts over there that these little fake government just had to get rid of because they're stupid. They don't know how to stand still and listen. And then you got people cursing and even guns, and then they sit there going, wait, this is illegal. Like, fool, it's still there. This shows you how mindless they are. But all of a sudden he's talking about the different trees that grow here and nowhere else. I helped with the curation of 280-something gopherwood trees that were left. When I said, if you went to the Library of Congress, gopherwood trees and another cypress that's pretty much eradicated too, grew all the way up to Washington State, all the way over to D.C., all the way up to New Jersey and New York, down to Florida. If y'all want to get into the round earth ideology, they grew everywhere. They went on this thing to get rid of the heifers and the bison, to get rid of everything possible of the old world, and even the tree, because you know what they were trying to say that the gopherwood tree was? They didn't say, because they thought that they had got rid of them, but there were more than enough of them saved. And it was my privilege while I was in the Navy to go over there and to be curated, to be able to touch those trees, to see them. And the only place they ever grew in this earth is here on our land. We have a goofy little Negro on TikTok running around talking about Egypt in Africa, and he's over there at the Pyramid of Giza. I'm looking at the year. I'm like, fool, I was over there in 87, 86. This monkey, he don't know what he's talking about. Egypt is a period. It's not a place. And those pyramids, supposed pyramids as we're called, they're youngest ones. So I just did a little stitch video, and look, come over here, and we could bring all our little sources of information together, and we could debate. And I'll set up a platform, you know what I'm saying, and we can go live, and you can bring all. Yeah, and I just hope he would come over here with his sold out self, not knowing the truth of what he's doing, and how it's going to affect him in the end. I'm not here to attempt to scare the scary. I don't have to scare the scary. You know, you tell the scary the truth, and it's fight or flight. When they have no fight, and there ain't nowhere to fight. Let's get into the Negro Project, Margaret Sanger. I'm not going to hold that book up. My apologies. I did hold it up, but in case you want to purchase it. Hey, T, what's up? Holiday friends, what's up, beloveds? All right? It's a really good read, too, okay? Man, I still got like 7 pieces. That was it was a 2.5 pound steak. I got lost a lot of that sauce, man. That floor, I got to hit it real hard. I got my mineral water. I got a case of them. I got my baking soda. I got to get one of them old raggedy towels, some cold water and ice, and I got to go and scrub that carpet in front of my bed. I was like sitting like that, and I has the big bowl. I done ate half of it, and I'm just like, and I'm tired. I'm hurting. I got the tins units out. I ain't even poke them up. I'm standing there like, let's get ready to get the Mike Tyson on. All I heard was, poop! Oh, snizzle. It stood up in the sauce like it did a cartwheel. And I'm like, God, I even saw a piece of beef. I was like, I hope ain't no cat hair on it. Man, I looked at that. I went out there and got me one of them damn 2 white washcloths. Came in there with some cold water. You'll be hopefully dry in the morning, and I'll just deal with you. I actually took a picture. I ain't sharing it. I have no secrets. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Negro Project, because I can talk on and on. I had a good time. It was a good time yesterday, y'all. Welding and all the people coming by and all that and talking about this and you're going to put the 55s and how much you're going to spend. I was like, because he saw the money, and I was like, look, I'm going to soup this truck up. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm not going back. I see this one sister, appreciate you, and 2 brothers who are actually going back watching all my videos. Please be of continence and thick skin, because I'm a stitch. Some stuff's going to have you like, yeah. Some stuff's going to have you like, is he talking to me? Just be pragmatic in your discovery, all right? So anyway, at this point, let us refer back to Margaret Sanger's May 21st, 1933 letter. Oh, that's right, NIH, Tuskegee. Look into it. You think I'm playing? Look into it. Okay? Somebody says, oh, you full of crap. One of these fake Yamasee, whatever. And I was like, all right, bro, I don't care. And now, how people like to, when I talk about stuff, they go and find something. I'm surprised. That's some good research. My baby girl usually does it. But, and they thought, hey, look what this one's saying. So now all of a sudden, I've been saying this for a long time. Now it's a pale skin, and everybody's running over there to listen. It is what it is. Again, at this point, let us refer back to Margaret Sanger's May 21st, 1933 letter to Edith Howe Martin, in which she expressed such shock and outrage and sympathy for the plight of the Jews living in Hitler's Germany. One would have thought that someone with her stature and high public profile would be doing everything possible to assist these horribly oppressed souls, like lobbying the U.S. government to amend the Immigration Restrictions Act of 1924 to allow more, not fewer, Jews to escape Hitler's tyranny. A bunch of converts, and it wasn't that many. Remember, we already read, it was a 450,000. The majority of them were allowed to leave by Hitler, 1933 up to 39 or whatever, or 40. But after that, when America started going pressing because of what was going on, and then you know how the Japanese were pushed to attack Pearl Harbor. Well, you know who was behind that, who was funding y'all need to really look into this stuff. All right. And so it was mostly gypsies, Moors, Slavs that were actually in the camps, and not everybody got murdered. What they did was, and this is what I heard firsthand, even those who had documents that they didn't turn over to this fake government here, they were showing the people who were dying of like diarrhea and vomiting and because the war was, they had to keep the soldiers healthy, right? And they were doing their best where they actually let the inmates garden and stuff. But they also had those, and they were pissed off. They had those who did everything to destroy Germany and keep it in this suppressive state. Those are ones that they would signal out, and they would deal with them. Execution, summarily, court-martial, like this government needs right now. They need to be summarily court-martialed. And all the practicing parties in lieu. But I'm not here for that. That's for y'all, if you actually knew what the government and tyranny and everything was, that y'all would be more practical. I'm not throwing it out there. There's people in Texas and everywhere that's pushing this information. I'm just saying that this looks like everybody's still so conflicted and so spread apart. And still, even with the Roe versus Wade and the woman who actually was paid by the government to say that, who came forward knowing she had that much longer to live, who told you the truth, that she was paid to do it. It was all a lie, and her heart hurt her because she wants to have a clear conscience when she leaves. She's not prepared for what's coming. That's why I tell y'all now, in your bad decision making, your bad choices, I don't care about what costume, uniform, or how strong or how weak you think you are. You're going to answer. So anyway, excuse me. Amend the Immigration Restrictions Act of 1924 to allow more, not fewer, Jews to escape Hitler's tyranny. Sadly, no record exists of her ever having made such an effort. Indeed, she and her colleagues in the eugenics movement did the exact opposite, and resolutely opposed any such increase in the number of people, including the Jews, who were seeking to come to this country. Of this, we do have a record, which is contained in the April 1932 issue of the Birth Control Review. Y'all can pull it up too. In this piece, Sanger left no doubt as to her position on this question. Sanger was quite blunt, writing that America should keep the doors of immigration closed to the entrance of certain aliens whose conditions is known to be detrimental to the stamina of the race, such as feeble-minded idiots, morons, insane, syphilitic, epileptic is the syphilis, all right, criminal, professional prostitutes, and others in this class barred by immigration laws of 1924. They were talking about the Jews. Because of her views and those of our eugenicists, the United States made no provisions to allow an increase in the number of Jews who were attempting to flee Hitler's reign of terror to come to America. In fact, as David Wyman writes in The Abandonment of the Laws, America in the Holocaust of 1941 to 45, only 21,000 Jews were admitted during the entirety of our involvement in World War II. I'm gonna finish this last paragraph, and I'm gonna speak about something, and that's I have to pull it up just to make sure. I'm gonna pull it up first. We like to pride ourselves on the idea that the words inscribed on the Statue of Liberty, words that read, "Give me your poor, your tired, your wretched refuse, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," actually mean something, but in this case, they did not. It will be to our everlasting shame as a nation that we knew what was happening to the Jews in Germany, yet deliberately chose to do next to nothing because of Margaret Sanger and her ilk, the like ones, the like-minded. But knowing what we know about her racist views and associations, could one have expected anything less from one of the country's leading eugenicists? Think about it, guys. Let me mark this, and let me pull this up. You know, because I'm a big thing on these fraudulent ass wars that people ignorantly fight, not knowing what they're doing because they're too stupid, and they follow the liars that put them in that position to fight and kill one another in utter ignorance. Okay, just want to make sure I pull up the right thing. I don't want to just, you know, I want to verbatim. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, there she is. You got my message. You heard what I said, girl. Don't be slacking on me. All right, let me okay. I'm gonna get it right. Okay, let me. I want to make sure I get the right one. You know what? I don't need to pull it up. Ding, ding, ding. Let me take a piece of watermelon. Right? Oh, these seeds are going. Oh, I can't wait. Ganja, we got some seeds, brother. Let me put a little bit of this Celtic salt. Hold on. I learned this when I was in Germany from my eldest daughter, Paul, long gone. He fought German, but he knew all the wars. He knew all the history, all the truth. He was a Waffen SS, and he says two of his guys that fought with him going through Poland, he said they were black. We had a whole lot of black soldiers in Germany. He says it looked like he was trying to get rid of all the original people. Anyway, Okinawa. Are you aware that in Okinawa, the same people that died in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the number was equivalent? 450,000 people on an island. Are you aware that these bastards, a lot of them fake Jews, was sent there to get payment back on the whole system to which they created in ignorance, the converts, and that they were torching caves that had nothing but women and children. The majority of the people there were not soldiers that died on Okinawa. They were civilians, people who were just wanting to protect their islands and their homeland. And these bastards, because they're too stupid to know, just like when they fought against us coming here, and they want to run around waving our rebel flag and all this other stuff and claiming to be indigenous and Indian. All right? Okay? There are paperwork showing who a lot of these people are, even the Hopi, the new identity of Hopis, to which the true Hopis can't even stand them. Where they're from and who they actually are. You got some from Hindustan, walking around the lands mixed with some Chinese, this and another, and some light-skinned white folks who think they're playing American Indian. And you don't know the difference because you don't really study the ethics behind it all. How many of y'all looked into me when I was discussing and pointing out to you Mr. Wild Bill, the Wild West show, with him being a Mason and a Shriner, and that he worked hand in hand with the Rockefellers and all of them? That's why the people that was in that playing Indian were K-H-E-T, right? And Arabs. And those very people right there, they gave them gave them land and called them the Plains Indians. Okay? So 450,000, they murdered knowingly women and children, these bastards. And their children run around hyped up on that fake narrative. You see what I'm saying? And just like that. Now there's a Japanese man from that time period who still goes around today with a team to dig up those bones and give them rest doing DNA to find out what family they may come from. Now that's a real soldier. Now, he's not even a soldier. He's a real humanitarian, a real man. While Japan is building their army up with twice the record speed and better technology than most. You know what I mean? And Thailand and all that, because that's all over there by China. You know what I'm saying? And they're contesting. But this is the disease and the sickness. And we're already in World War III. Y'all are still comfortable because you are still subjects of a system that doesn't recognize you. Because you refuse. You want to sit there and allow a perverse melanated people to capitulate you into a position as if they've been promised that they're going to live forever. They've been promised immortality. They're not going to get it if they only really knew. Okay? Another bite of this magnificent watermelon, and we'll get to the next part. Oh, we got to get Howdy Mikowski here. I got an appointment in the morning in Flagstaff, X-ray. And it was raggedy knee. X-rays don't tell nothing for it. This was stupid. The VA, the whole system is stupid. That's what they hire stupid people who don't have laurels or morals. That's so good. All right, let's finish going. My apologies. Gotta save them seeds. I'm going to show you how I cook this steak today. Exposing Expositions, 1851-1950. This is how the Bukowski is up. Revised edition. It's from his 2019. This is 2021. Excellent freaking book. I think some people have purchased it. I hope you've read it, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And you read it to other people. Okay? Because it brings into question everything. Can't go that way. The white seeds, I don't keep them, bro. It's flapping around. Get your butt up in the garbage. There we go. All right, let's get into it now. This is the cream of the crop. I hope you remember where we left off at. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to do an MRI while they're there. That's what they're supposed to do. But you know what? They're so full of it. And I think right now, the levels of x-rays they're pushing is really messed up. You know what I'm saying? I know what they're doing, but oh, wow. You know what I'm saying, baby? Check it out. I never understood why this was true until I ran into the book Serpent in the Sky by John Anthony West. I have that book. Well, anyway, Baby Girl Slaughter, Snoop, if you want to purchase the book, you can buy it too, baby. Because I know you like to, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead and get that book, Serpent in the Sky, all right, by John Anthony West. Let me show you. It's a really good book. No, if you get it from thrift books, you know you're going to be waiting forever for that goddamn book. I'm just letting you know. All right? I don't like the one, you can get the one from Amazon if you want. And that's on you. Amazon's trying to rob people now because people find out there's some dirty motherfuckers. All right? I'm being serious, y'all. And you know me. You know I would never do that. No, come on, stop being slow. See, the internet's really being funky right now. Why is it doing that? Okay. They're being so egregious. It's just... I think Amazon is owned by the government. Where's the damn book, bruh? I just wanted to show them the book. Confirm resubmission. What in the whole high... Okay, here we go. Okay, so I had to go over here. So this is the book. I have it. As a matter of fact, I think it's upstairs under the bed. It's a good read, too. All right? So, I think thrift books is like 16 or 17. Another one's like 14. Amazon's going to cost you about 20 when you pay the shipping or the tax, which you shouldn't be paying taxes. Okay? So, it's a really good read. Anyway, who used an entire chapter to present how the ancients viewed art, which was not something to be looked at, or create certain feelings or ideas in the person looking at it, but to create universal harmony. The same principles in every single person viewing it should occur from the art. That's powerful. In fact, the very space on earth to harmonize sky and ground and person and animal in one infused harmonic whole. What did we go through yesterday? Be mindful. Okay? It can be seen in every statue or painting in Florence, every cathedral, Florence, Italy. I've been there several times. It's beautiful. Every monastery. And I hate saying cathedral and monastery because that's not what they are. Yet, let's stay verbatim. That was the old world. The world, the modern, has wanted to destroy. How some black lines on a canvas can possibly compare to Da Vinci's Annunciation or Botticelli's Primavera is beyond me. It again shows just how many levels of brainwashing has occurred. Do not forget that one of the main financiers of modern art museums was John Rockefeller. Momo in New York and all that garbage? Exactly. He was not putting his money into something to help humanity, but help his elite cause, brainwash the people into thinking the old beauty needs to be destroyed or hidden in the back of a museum, while the new modern soulless junk, is what you see today, is portrayed as the ideal, portrayed as the ideal. I saw this display, excuse me, I saw this displayed again recently on a research trip to Nantes, France. Beautiful. The art gallery, housed in a beautiful ancient building with spectacular 16th and 17th century religious paintings. You know those are fraud, right? Anyway, it's stunning. Some of the paintings are so perfect it appears as if they were photographs, all layered with intricate symbolism and perfected geometry. But then my wife and I decided to take a quick look at the modern art section before we left. While of course ugly, when we reached what was called the most of the artwork and fine sculpture removed, reached what was called, the chapel, we got the shock of shocks. Here a beautiful 1700s church had most of the artwork and fine sculpture removed. Though bits of it though bits of it were still left higher on the walls. What would have been an ornate ceiling was layered over with a series of wooden planks. Inside were 40 television sets, all blaring children or older people screaming or blowing whistles or cars exploding. This is what was being presented as art, while the very building used to present it, actual ancient art of soul and harmony, was mostly destroyed to showcase the modern mess. Nothing presented this loss and his brainwashing of the masses more clearly than this. Go to Nantes to see it for yourself, people. France. But start at the chapel to get it out of your system. Finish your experience with 2 hours of the beauty. That is where the power of healing is. And that is what our world should and used to be. Powerful. Behold the pale horse. Hey Marcus, what's up, beloved? What's happening? Who else is up in here? I didn't shut everybody out, man. Baby girl Slaughter, hey. Serpent in the Sky, that's you. All right. How much was that one? You know what? It's scheduled by the VA. It's tomorrow. You can't just do it like that. They'll be like, "Oh, you want an MRI?" I might mention it. Why you want to do an X-ray? And me who went to medical school, this, that, and I know that ain't gonna see crap. Why don't you do an MRI instead of this prep? But you know what I'm saying? We're dealing with a time of stupidity and perversions. So you know, Roy, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? Oh, Mac, I got you all right. I just want to make sure I shout everybody out. Triple A, what's going on, Ike? What's happening, beloved? The French, I think I got you. Grand Ascension, you already know. Grand Ascension to everybody. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of this. We're not going to beat this up too much, because we're getting to the point where we got a handful of pages, and then we get into the documentation. U.S. Army intelligence connection with Satanic Church. That's going to be a doozy. That's all I got to say. All right, so let's break it out. Meanwhile, what is happening to that Arab's account? It shows 1 million. In fact, the bank in our example, Chase Manhattan, has deposited that 1 million, a piece of paper with 1 million written on it, to the Federal Reserve Clearing System, which, pursuant to fractional reserve lending policies, a piece of paper with 1 million written on it, authorizes Chase Manhattan to loan at times 60 million to Mexico, Brazil, the U.S. Congress, however it pleases, promulgating the overwhelming falsehood that there is too much currency in the market and not enough borrowers. Hitler had it right, you know. Concurrently, the United States Congress purportedly owes, whenever you hear the United States Congress, has nothing to do with this land, y'all, purportedly owes approximately $65 million per week for the next 2,000 years, providing that as of now, not one further dime is ever spent, and there is a 2,000-year moratorium on all interest charges to Congress. Its second is the United Arab Emirates being paid about 7% per 1 million in oil revenue. All your leaders are stupid. The world's leaders are dumb. So I guess the people must be even dumber. And those trusted pillars of society, the Federal Reserve members, for every 1 million recorded due in about 25 years to the Arabs, has the burden of paying that Arab about $70,000 per year, and is only making from the White House a staggering $6 million per year, and requiring at the same time $60 million per year as repayment because of trilateral originated policy issued by Congress. The Trilateral Commission, you know, the same people, Jekyll Island, Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, Collins, whatever. We owe this all to the kind fiscal servants of America and her people. In 1912, $400 million was owed to Congress, and today $6.5 trillion is owed by Congress. Well, y'all know where it's at right now. We don't own shit. A radical I am not, a one-time farmer and now forever branded criminal, permanently humbled in awe of the extent of the above evidence, megalomania, I am. Your government, your pig-ass Congress. And they say, we are now, whenever they see them on videos, 13, 16 trillion in debt, they're not talking to you. It's those worthless bastards. I mean, look at that monkey in California who gave the workers 1 point something % increase and gave himself 45% increase. That is not legal, but the people are dumb and they don't know better. So what do? They are subservient to the narrative, and so therefore they are chattel slaves because they refuse to be on point and remain oblivious to the reality of the situation. Now, I'm not here to change none of that. I think it's an excellent job these bastards did. They got everybody hemmed up and sewed up. You know? Whenever somebody said, hey, look, you're going to pay 125%. Yeah, okay. And when your little raggedy ass body is dead and dried up, blown in the wind, I will see you. No way around it. I don't care who you think you are or what you are. When I tell you I will see you, I am not playing. This is no hype. I told you they're hard-headed. And they're stuck. And I like it. It doesn't prove nothing to me, but it proves something to y'all, those who actually see. I gotta take another bite of this watermelon. And then we get to the heaven berries. That Celtics, boy, y'all don't know about this. That Celtic salt, bro. Listen here. Oh. We all know what. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna see right there. Keep that seed. Boy. Oh, I need the plate. It's juicy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Spinning Baba. Oh, let me stop before I get that Shabba shit going. Anyway. Boomba. Heaven berries. New Age is deception. Let me swallow this, but I'm about to choke before. Damn. To have wine with watermelon. That's too much sugar for me, though. Heaven Bearers. The New Age of Deception by Janine Helen. It's book 2 of 3. I told you it's going to be coming out soon if it hasn't already. All right. My ear closed and they gave me that high-pitched tune, that frequency of the shit, and I just had to block it out. What the fuck are these people are stupid? Anyway, let's get into it. These things. All right. Yeah. I hope you go back and watch where we left off at about a week and a half ago, okay? He never got the chance to ask them where he was and what they called themselves. In almost every respect, they looked like him. They looked human. The only major difference was their size, and they all had different shades of brown hair. They were clothed in all white. The material looked thin, almost see-through, and like linen. I like that stuff. And both men and women wore the same thing, a type of t-shirt and trousers that flowed like a dress. Their clothing was well fitted, and they didn't remind him of hippies or the Amish, or any kind of people that he had any prior knowledge of or about. They also weren't biblical, or at any rate, not how the biblical people in that era is portrayed in the various books, stories, and televisions, because they lie about it. Cole had no means to measure time. He didn't wear a watch, and the sun didn't set. He figured he could eventually tell time by the length of his beard over the next few days. But it never grew. This place defied every law, Taino theory, every law and principle of science. Not a single person approaches him or attempts to speak to or show him anything. They let him mission about on his own. I like that word mission about. It reminds me of when I was a young legit. What are you missioning about there, Red? Oh, I'm just walking down the block. Anyway, not at all bothered by his presence. And although he had many questions he wanted to ask them, he kept them to himself and just observed his surroundings in pure silence. It was invigorating, and he felt refreshed like never before. If he had to guess, it was day number 3 when it all happened. He was casually sitting under a large tree. Its leaves hung down like curtains, and it reminded him of a willow tree. The tree trunk was the width of the tree trunk. It says truck, it should say trunk. Was the width of 2 Chevy trucks parked next to each other, perhaps even 3. And there was a type of glitter that formed at the ends of the long and droopy branches. When he touched it, he realized it was a type of powder that stuck to his fingers and made them tingle. He wasn't sure if it was poisonous or what its purpose was, but after rubbing it between his fingers for a couple of seconds, it lost its stickiness and slowly absorbed into his skin. It didn't sting or burn his skin, and after a while he felt no different, and it completely disappeared. He sat back against the large tree trunk, pondered exactly what this place was, and his mind trying to make sense of what his eyes were seeing all around him. And then it hit him. Is this the Garden of Man? The sky was calm and turquoise blue. That's a beautiful blue. Similar to the color of the water in the children's eyes. There was no wind, not even a small breeze, and he noticed that big bird again. And this time, it had friends flying with him. To his knowledge, eagles don't fly in groups. They were solitary animals, which made him think it must have been another type of bird. They were flying in a group of 15, 1 leading, 2 behind the leader, then 3 behind the 2, then a row of 4, and finally a row of 5 behind the 4, the pyramid like. They were flying in the shape of a pyramid and perfectly in sync with one another. Shape of a pyramid, y'all, you hear me? Anyway, performing a breathtaking sight, and he wondered if this flight pattern was common among this type of species. In all his life, he had never seen such a thing, and it startled him. For the first time since he arrived here, he felt a chill spread all over his body, and the hairs on his arms stood up, warning him that something was wrong. He looked around him, trying to see if other people noticed anything, and they too were staring up at the birds. They had the same look of confusion and awe on their faces, and he realized something out of the ordinary was definitely happening. He got up onto his feet and moved away from the trunk of the tree, trying to get a better view. His back is all sweaty, and he can feel the small sweat drops from on his forehead. Despite his body feeling cold, he wipes them away without a second thought, but they return just as quickly. There is a sudden humidity in the air. It is heavy and thick, and it makes him feel uncomfortably hot. He wants to cool down and take a swim in the lake, the same lake where the children were playing with the giant goldfish a few days earlier. As he approaches the water, he notices the fish are all dead, floating belly up and lifeless in the water. Something is very wrong, and he touches the water carefully, realizing it is quite hot. Its color had changed, and it wasn't turquoise anymore. It was all of a sudden a red and orange mixture, and he quickly shifts his gaze back up to the birds in the sky. They are all gone, but he can see others dropping like flies from the sky. Panic spreads throughout every cell in his body when he realizes what is happening. The sky was on fire. We're gonna stop right there. Don't worry, we're back in the groove, y'all. I had to do what I had to do. No explanations. Just except for the ones I gave you. Oh, sit your ass up there. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Somebody's like, yes, I'm going to read some more of the protocols of the Goys for Zion, but not today. So I appreciate y'all taking the time. I didn't check to see if there was any donations. I think somebody donated something. I hit love, the heart is in the back, so I'm not bothered with it. I'm going to finish my watermelon, get my steak going. I may record cooking this steak. It's going to be, and that's going to be pretty much the meal for today. I might have something later. Like if you're eating oatmeal, get the stale cut. If you're eating grits, get the real grits that take like 6 hours to boil. Stop messing with the quick grits and all that other fake garbage that they have in there. All right? Do yourselves a beautiful one. That's what I might have tonight. I might have some of these red Jersey grits that I have, which is hard. They take forever to cook, y'all. But with about 5 or 6 eggs and sit up here, I don't eat bread no more. So, I mean, I may have a sandwich every once in a blue moon, but that's got to be at the right place. But like I said, you know what I mean? So I might go ahead and set this up and record cooking this steak. I need to actually cook it now and get it in my system. I can't just go on an apple and some juice from yesterday, which was pulpy as hell, and I got 3 more slices of watermelon. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook that steak, and I might heat some kidney beans up with it. All right. Your record cooking today. Yes, record cooking. Oh, baby. Thank you, man. U.S. intelligence satanic cult chapter is going to be fire. You know that's right. And I'm gonna dig the book out. And so I might come on this evening and be like, look. I'm gonna read this to y'all, you know. But I was thinking maybe I come on a little later and read the protocols of the Goys for Zion just to give you a little Baby Go Slaughter, did you purchase that book? I know I showed it to y'all before. So I know she got the Facts is Facts, and I know she got The Power of Now is really, really exceptional. Phenomenal reading. When I start reading that from and the Christ and Witch God, I can't put those books down. I actually have to make myself put them down. I have to. But this one right here, The Wicked and Secret Plot by the Gentiles to Defend Israel Behind Its Back. Boy, wait until y'all hear, boy. We ain't got to even read propaganda for this one. You got, how'd you like it so far, sis? How'd you like that so far? Is it better? This is makes you say, whoa. And it's not so much like in the bigger picture of things, there's a lot of books that could be very unforgiving. And they will misdirect, and it's phenomenal, exactly. And they will misdirect, they will cause confusion and confliction. That's why it's good to be able to read so much, because you're going to hear a story over here that's going to show you or give you the ability, because it's going to give you other books to show that you can denounce what you're reading here, except for certain particulars. Those are the ones you highlight. You always highlight or put a tab and you make a note. Important. That's all you got to do. That's why you see some of my books have like little blue, yellow, pink, orange little tabs in there with some little notes and bullet points, maybe 2 or 3, or asterisks or whatever, okay? Because that's why I say, there's some people that always want to debate and they don't really know what you really know. And the biggest hypocrites. But the problem is they have the majority of those stuck in ignorance following them and going, yeah, because they've been educated by the very system that lied about everything. And until they come across any of us, they won't learn nothing different. Remember, I'm not here to stop anything. I can say that. Y'all can't say. I'm here to bring a little balance. And it's going to happen. It's happening. Trust me. Ooh, look at all those seeds. Let me get these seeds up in this container, y'all. Yo, we got to get these. Hey, look, we can grow watermelon. You can grow vegetables and everything year round. If you dug underground about 4 to 6 feet, got your walk-in, and you built a very firm somewhat continents as far as over top. And it's easy to make solar panels. Those are ancient. Solar panels are not new. All right. To extract from the ether, just like there's a book that shows you how to charge your cell phone using the ground. I told you, I showed a buddy of mine with a potato and an old broken witch guard and plugged it in. And he was like, damn it. The power line that says, but it's very weak, came on my old phone. He was like, you really charging it with the potato? Now watch this. I put some baking soda and some lemon juice, lime juice. He said, damn, that thing's really... I was like, yeah. So, you know, you'll never know if you don't experiment. You know what I mean? And you can use the earth outside, depending on if you got dark, rich soil, like certain places in Alabama, Louisiana, Carolinas, even Jersey, Garden State. It was called the Garden State for a reason. Not this fake California, which is Carolina. You got North and South Kakalaki, which doesn't mean North Carolina. It means California. That's why you have Devil's Eye. Look, man, I'm not going to get into this. Some of you are starting to realize it. You're looking at the previous map and the maps that were before that. Some of you are starting to realize, even the ones that have the motifs of faces painted. That's why I don't debate people. Devin Moore, what's going on? How you doing? What's going on, beloved? How you doing? Jewish holy books and that crap consists of... Yes, I know, man. You're right. Anyway, let me get off of here. I don't mind. I wouldn't care if we was on here for 2 or 3 hours. If you got somebody that wants to debate something, some black magic or whatever, voodoo, and all the other bull crap, tell them. Come on. Tell them. It's not about embarrassing. I'm going to rip their ass, but then I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them a lighter and a platter way. Because, see, when you come in talking about stuff you know nothing about, and you've been participating in things that have been your de-evolution and your breakdown of your society and the people around you, I'm going to hit you in the gut. I'm going to punch you so fucking hard in the gut. And I'm going to make you shit two ways into the wind. Then I'm going to hold your hand and let you lean your head on my shoulder, and I'm going to tell you what the fuck you need to hear. Ladies, you are the power. Don't ever forget that shit. Brothers, you are the strength that protects that power. Don't ever forget that. See, now y'all still want to be called brothers and sisters, all that other shit. You're immortal. You're supposed to be gods. Sentient. It's supposed to be more than that fucked up name, and more than the character and the faces and the portraits and the red nose and the rainbow hair that they made you out to be. Okay? See y'all here in a few. Let me get this set up because I'm gonna make this goddamn steak.